Dude, you take the kick
There
off.
you go. There you go, right there, Matt. We are back with I Only Listen to 90s Music, my compadres. Matt's first time actually being with them on a podcast.
Yeah,
man. Look at what Will's done.
Another way that this is the Lou Rawls SOLC Parade of Stars edition. We'll talk to y'all after y'all get off here who y'all want to represent y'all in the graphics for the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars. But Matt, you had your direct question. I will let you jump in early.
All right, man. So I thought about this right away. A lot of things came to my spirit as I watched the events transpire on the interwebs last night. And as we know, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, they won the first Grammy for hip hop all time way back in the day. But they've also got that rap, and Will especially has got that rap of being that guy that makes kind of that, I call it cuddle rap. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, everybody's safe. We just having a good time type rap. But with him taking this position he took last night, did Will erase many years of disrespect for the kind of rapper that he is?
I don't know. I don't think it took anything away from his music, but I do think it's getting him ready for that Nicky Barnes role.
Oh.
Because he's never had no gangster.
It's on Netflix coming up.
He's never had no gangster role. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
No, I mean, even if he drops a record tomorrow, it's still going to be the same type of songs that he's done before. So I think at this point in his career, that's just something that he's not worried about, right? Like, he's addressed it. He's talked about it. People thought I was corny, whatever. Like, but I made money and that's it. I did what I love doing and I did well. That's the end of that. So I don't think it takes away from what people thought about him and his music. I don't think it erased anything. If anything, now it's like, hey, you might not want to fuck with Will.
Hey, that's what I said. So that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like Will now is like, I told y'all don't talk shit about me back in the day. I now had to put it on display for you 30 years later.
See, I started having respect for Will. He had that song, You Saw My Blinker, Bitch. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is something different. I saw that then. He had a song, You Saw My Blinker, Bitch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And I was like, when I heard it, I was like, was a kid. I was like, you saw my
you mentioned it earlier. That was his tip drill, D. You asked me earlier if that was his tip. That was his tip drill moment.
I thought it was his tip drill moment. We're taking a quick walk, closing the door.
All right. So what song was Will thinking about when he got up to make this happen? And what a Chris song when he got hit?
Oh, that's easy. The song that Will was thinking about is a song that I like from the No Limits. Somebody
Matt, you already got Matt on board.
That's it. Is he? I think he just in his mind he just started hearing it and just was like, I think somebody want their ass kicked. And then I think Jada, like he may not have been saying it, but Jada felt it in her spirit and was whispering, I think somebody want their wig split. And I think that's what was in his head. And so he had to do what he had to do.
Scott,
I don't know what Chris was thinking about.
I know what song he was thinking when he was walking back to his seat. I bet you won't.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
My mama said on Facebook today, she said, I'm gonna tell you right now, you better not slap me and then turn your back.
Hey. It was a level of confidence that I've seen few people. He crossed over into foolish confidence. He slapped that man and then turned around and kind of straightened himself up a little bit. I was like, Will damn near went up there and took that glove off.
Yeah, like I challenged you to a duel.
I say all the time, man. Like I was telling that we just had the brothers from the pro wrestling show on, man, and we was just talking. I said I need soundtracks for that whole thing. Like, I need for people to take that whole walk that Will took up there, from the Japanese version before they dropped it off of US TV. I need for people to make like a score to this. Like I want it to be like an American Gangster type feel. Like, I want to watch this thing. I want to be able to sit back. I want to be able to have a little good drink. I want to be able to watch this slap on repeat with a different track that fits the move the whole time. Like, I just need it. Like a versus even level of celebration for this thing.
Nothing but fight songs getting played.
I know I'm copping tickets to for the Chris Rock tour this week.
Yes,
He'll
sir.
be here in
Very,
June.
yes.
So,
I
I
need to
said
look
I'm
that
wearing
up.
my Fresh Prince 5s to it too, just so I can bring the world together.
I
So,
think I got some Bel Air stuff at home too. So yeah, definitely got to wear that.
So what are y'all initial thoughts about the whole ruckus and fray? Does this taint Will's career? Does it taint Chris Rock? What are y'all kind of thoughts about everything?
I think nothing happens to either one of their careers. I just think it was just a guy caught at a bad moment, you know, on national TV. I think they'll squash it or whatever, or Chris Rock gonna have some jokes on, you know, on his tour.
Yeah, I think Chris Rock is definitely probably gonna make some jokes about it. Because right now there's an apology floating around that allegedly Chris wrote, but he didn't. So that's so if anybody sees that, it's not true.
Okay, so the apology isn't real. Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, so yeah, the Chris Rock apology is not real. The apology that came from Will Smith is real. Like that actually came from Will. It's on Will's page, all of that.
Yeah.
So I think Will was disappointed in himself last night.
Yeah.
Like he immediately like kind of just knew I don't say the severity of the situation, but just kind of really, once he came out of that anger and that adrenaline stopped rushing, it was kind of like, wait a minute. Like this, I kind of.
Kevin Samuel's going live right now to talk about it. We found out, but continue. I just want people to know, to keep us. It's the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars. We keep people updated what's going on in the regular world as well. So Kevin Samuels now went live to discuss this.
I hated her, and I wonder. It's like I feel like Kevin Samuels has been slapped before, but it's usually by women.
Yeah, mostly
right. Women. Like mostly it's been women that have slapped him. He's never been slapped open face, slap, mind you, by another man.
I gotta say, I'm really glad that it was a slap though. Like everything about this situation, as best as it could have turned out, did. Because if Will would have went up there and tried to buckle Chris, we would have been having an even worse type of conversation.
What my boy Jerome say, they squabbling off the snowfall.
Them boys up there tussling. Like I think with Chris, like, because everybody, I know initially everybody thought it was fake. Like, I mean, when Scott sent us the link yesterday, it was like, wait a minute, is this really going on? So it looked like it was like maybe it was fake. But like when you look at Chris, look at it again, Chris is kind of like, whoa there, right? And I think he just was in shock at what just happened. So it wasn't like, oh, Chris ain't like, he a punk, he ain't like, no, I don't think it's that. It was really like, it was like, wait a minute, whoa, like what the fuck? Like Will Smith just slapped the fuck out of me. Like he was really trying to process what was going on. But at the end of the day, them niggas would have been on stage straight fighting. Yeah, because Will from West Philly, Chris Rock from Bed-Stuy, niggas would have had it out on stage. Black folks would have never been at the Oscars again. We just started being able to go like 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
We ain't been there since Jamie.
So, and the funny thing about it is,
damn, since Jamie Foxx, goddamn, that's okay.
This was the anniversary of the Hustle and Flow win too, wasn't it?
Yeah, with 3-6.
Yeah, whip that trick.
That means nothing no more. That means nothing.
That's gone.
Whip that trick. So
that's completely removed now. And here's my thing about it. So the Oscars, absolutely, Oscars So White is still a thing, by the way. Look at these people behind me. A couple brothers back there. There's a brother hiding behind me right there. But also, at the end of the day, when we look at unfortunately, this is going to be the most notable moment in Oscars history.
Right.
Like, without a doubt. You can play all the E.T., John Williams soundtracks you want, and all of the In Memoriam.
Have Common come out there and do some spoken word.
Yeah.
Like, I need for somebody to create an In Memoriam for this. And I need for it to have that same music and to slow down that Will cock. And he came back around on my man and like give him the whole thing. Because here's the thing. I've never seen anybody get slapped in my life and just like nobody has any beef with Chris Rock at all. I think that partially is because he softened up that whole thing with the Everybody Hates Chris. It gave a lot of very easy jokes to make with that logo and doing all that. But nobody expect Chris Rock to rumble Will Smith, like even on like a whole nother thing. And I don't think it's about saying, if The Rock was up there, what would he have done? Nobody's slapping The Rock. First of all, The Rock would have walked down and met him halfway there. But I tried to think about like what other people would have been in that situation. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna slap Eddie Murphy if Eddie Murphy would have been up there. Because I just envisioned Charlie Murphy running up on him out of the crowd. Like considering we got the best version of this black on black moment that we could get with the people that were involved in it. Because it would have been a lot worse. Like if somebody would have ran on stage with 3-6 or did something like that. Like this is tenable.
This is secure. I mean, security was nowhere to be found. But I think again, no one expected Will to walk up there, and it's the two of them, like the little section, that front section that they're in. Security probably is looking for fans or people to like hop up. They're not looking for, and even with Will walking up there, they're probably watching and being like, oh, he probably finna just, you know, mess with him or something like that. But then it's like, wait a minute, it's a slap heard across the world. And like, I hate now that with him winning last night, it's overshadowed by this incident, right? Like that's what people remember is about this. And no one remembers that it was a black movie about a black father and his black daughters and all that other stuff. And the other part is that we done got on TV and we fought in front of these white folks. We went to these white folks' place. They let us in their house.
But the side note, Stacey, right after the slap, when Chris Rock, it also kind of overshadowed Questlove won for that summer, the documentary. Yeah, he won for that.
Yeah, it just changed the mood of like the entire, like the rest of the night, right? And I think so. I hate that part of it, but Will was fed the fuck up, and people were like, oh, it's more than just him, what he just said, and it's about August Alsina, and it's about this. Look, fuck August Alsina. It has like, quit bringing that shit up. Like this has nothing to do with August Alsina. Has nothing to do with Tupac. Has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is this isn't the first time that you had Jada's name in your mouth. One, like you did it a couple of years ago when they boycotted the Oscars because like, you know, Will wasn't nominated. He's like, oh, well, how you gonna boycott? You ain't even get invited, blah, blah, blah. Fine. You already said it once. Then now this woman is sitting here minding her damn business, being quiet, and you make a joke about her not having any hair. This woman who has, for the past several years, been very, very vocal about her struggle with alopecia and the insecurities that she's had with it. And you are a man who made a whole fucking documentary about Black women's hair.
So Stacey, let me ask you about that. So should Chris Rock be taking more L's right now? We spend a lot of time talking about Will Smith and whether he was right or wrong. Is Chris Rock getting off?
He should be. And that's what kills me about it, is that people are placing the blame like, well, Will should have known better and Will should have just met him outside. Well, it's because Jada did this, and the other, which again, she was sitting there minding her fucking business, like being quiet, just sitting there in her dress, being quiet. But Chris is the one who was disrespectful, but no one is saying any shit about him. They're like, well, he probably didn't even know. Look, fucking Will and Jada are Hollywood elite. Jada's been very vocal about it. And even when he said it, the crowd he didn't get to laugh. The crowd was like, ooh, because they knew. So how does everybody else fucking know but you?
You right. You
and it's like now they're saying, oh, Chris didn't write the joke. It was the writers wrote the joke and it was on the teleprompter. They said it in his ear. He still didn't have to say it.
Yeah.
When he heard what the line was, he didn't have to say it. Liza Minnelli was up there making up shit on the teleprompter and ain't nobody say word. And I love Liza with all of my heart.
They shouldn't have had her out there. I'm glad
Liza was like, all right then. And now we're going to show you some stuff. And oh wait, okay. All right, well, we're gonna do something right now then. Well, good.
I'm gonna talk about white people for a minute too. Because after that slap happened, even if that would have been a completely regular show, we had this moment for Will, we enjoyed it. Yo, we got to stop with these legacy ass awards they be bringing people out, because Anthony Hopkins came out there and damn near ain't know where he was at. And then they brought Liza Minnelli out and she absolutely did not know where she was at. I was like, come on, y'all. Read the room, man. These people shouldn't be there.
Now, what was the award Sam Jackson won?
He got an honorary Oscar?
Just for being in hella movies.
I think so. I think that's what it said on there. Like honorary Oscar for being in hella movies.
For being in all the universes.
They should have had to put a clip from every movie he was in there to fill in that space from Will throwing him off the script. Now The only person I really want to hear from in the middle of this, I don't really want to hear from Will. Like, I'll go see Chris Rock. I was kind of low key thinking about it anyway, but now I absolutely got to be there. I want to hear. I need a statement from the office of Brother Minister Denzel Washington about this effect in the community. I want to hear from the elders because they're gonna be the people that can set the thing straight or say, "Hey, I'm out of it. Shouldn't have happened."
Somebody said that Tyler Perry is planning an all-male gospel brunch right now.
It's like the opposite of the Rock Nation brunch.
Right. It's the opposite. It's the opposite of the Oprah Legends Ball. Tyler Perry is currently planning an all-male gospel healing brunch for everybody to get together. But I do love that the elders did come talk to him. I wish more men had elders in their life to come have a conversation with them. Again, I don't know why Tyler Perry went over there. I guess he just was trying to see what they was talking about.
Was he just being nosy?
He just
I
being
think he just was
nosy.
being nosy. I think he just was being nosy.
Trying to get him in a Medea.
Hell, even Bradley Cooper came over to try to have a conversation. And like, so it's like, yeah, they said with Denzel and Tyler Perry and Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. You get into a rumble. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've had some white guys tell me some crazy stuff after some moments right there. Like Bradley Cooper's probably kicking over there. Hey, bro, you just gotta, you gotta be over it, man. It's not.
Yeah, let that shit go, man. Let shit go.
Just breathe, man. It's all good. Like that type of thing.
So you need
this is your night, bro.
Yeah, you needed Denzel, and probably I don't even know if Samuel L. Jackson would have been the right person to talk to you because Samuel L. Jackson be like, I'd hit the nigga again. I feel like that's what he was.
Right. Samuel L. was sitting in the back like, well, nigga shouldn't have been running his mouth.
Nigga, sometimes you like that's.
He did say something about his wife.
I mean, sometimes you don't slap a nigga, shit. I can slap a nigga in my life.
So a long time ago, back when we first were getting scenario out the ground, we did a big thing about the cookout, the ultimate black cookout, who was invited, how this played out. Like, if this would have went down at the cookout, it would have been a completely different situation. It would have been either de-escalated or escalated to a whole nother level. But the unique thing about what we saw with this is that we went to an absolute, completely white barbecue with terrible ass food. We probably wasn't eating. And this became one of the biggest black events that actually no black people were watching when it actually occurred until they heard that somebody was fighting of all time. It took all of our asses and took us back to middle school in the course of about 10 seconds. Because you got a text and you got a text and you got a text and you got a text from me, Daryl. And then I was just saying, this is an emergency situation for the culture. And it became a whole different thing. The Oscars damn near need to be sponsored by Hennessy now after how black this thing got as quickly as it did.
We done turned it into the Source Awards.
This is unprecedented in the history. So for y'all, I want to ask y'all just before we get
out of here. I was just going to say, go ahead with our top five. Go ahead.
Like, so we earlier today, we put together the top 5 most OC moments like in entertainment history, like live TV events. We had the OJ chase. We had Kanye hopping on stage with Taylor Swift. We had the Malice at the Palace with the Pistons and the Pacers back in the day. We had Mike Tyson biting Evander Holyfield's ear. And which one am I missing, D?
The 95 Source Awards.
The 95
what about,
Source Awards.
Hey, y'all forgot All Dirty at the Grammys.
Oh, that's another
with Wu-Tang for the Children.
And he was on the run.
For the children.
And he was on the run.
Just know that I am so grateful that I saw the 95 Source Awards when it aired. Like that I was at home. No, I wasn't even at home. I was at a sleepover with some friends and we watched it and I got to see it. So it's like, yeah, you can see it now, but it just was different. I'm so grateful that I'm old as fuck and I saw it then.
So where do y'all put this in like that hierarchy of those events we talked about right there? Is it a top 5? Is it top 3, top 2? Like where do you put this at for just OC as black moments in entertainment?
I'll give it top 5.
I'm giving it top 10 just because those other moments that you mentioned changed the culture, right? They were significantly like culturally relevant. And not to say that this won't be, but let's see what this looks like in a year, right? Like we'll always talk about the 95 Source Awards, period. Like so many things happened that night. I mean, you could pick 5 moments from that show, period, of things that happened. So, I mean, the OJ chase, of course, anytime you see a white Bronco, that's already there. So,
shout out the white Bronco coming back this year too.
Man, so like with all those with Kanye running up on stage, all of those things just defined moments, and it's something that we still talk about to this day. Will we probably still be talking about this a year from now, 2 years from now? Probably, but like I need to see how it pans out. So it goes in the top 10. I'm not giving it top 5 just yet.
All right, we hear that. Hey, before we let y'all go, I gotta ask a favor because somebody asked a question in y'all in just world famous Facebook group. Like it's insane what that group became so quickly right there. Like it's the definition.
That is all Scott. Like that group grew so quickly.
I just brought the hood in.
He did. I was like Scott,
I just left the gate
group
open
or whatever. Right. Like we're gonna start this little group whatever, right? Invite a couple of your friends. And then Scott was like, just started going to other groups and be like, hey, we got some music and shit over here if y'all want to come. we playing spades, we got dominoes.
Right. Hey,
we got wings.
There was a conversation the other day about who's been running hip hop longer, New York or Atlanta.
New York, Atlanta.
All I want to do is to say, I just want to stop through for a second whenever that makes it on air, because I got thoughts about that, and I want to be a part of that because that hit me in a place I didn't expect to really be considering. I was just like, yo, hold up, this is actually a thing, because it made me feel extraordinarily old to realize that I've watched this entire Atlanta thing happen at this point now.
It starts from the 95 Source Awards.
Like I said, right,
South got something to say.
And the first thing I said was like, look, I said, if you add up all of the years, I said, I think New York got it, but it's not like Atlanta is fought like, it's a landslide. It's like, you got to add up the years. And I said, and I put in there in parentheses, I have not done any research to count any years at all. I got other shit going on. But then Daryl was like, well, yeah, actually, hip hop is 40 years old and this is 23. I'm like, so it's about neck and neck, which sounds about right. Because New York had it on lock consistently and then lost it. And then every time that they get it, they lose it again easily to another region. Like they haven't had it consistently since like the 80s.
I got some questions. I got some thoughts. I just want to throw a Molotov into that conversation when it actually happens. So,
hey, look, we can let me check my schedule, and we can make that happen. We can absolutely have that conversation.
Love. Well, hey y'all, we appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all for jumping in on this. The Lou Rawls SOC
the telethon.
Telethon. We appreciate y'all so much.
The only telethon with live dark liquor on it, baby, because we needed it after last night.
The unofficial sponsor.
That is funny. I'm like, yeah, I want my if you make a flyer and anything, you need somebody like to represent me. I don't know. I'm thinking, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, just because I like that name. So yeah, just go ahead, have me on there as a young Cheryl Pepsi Riley, and that's it.
I'm gonna be the barge, so I'm with it.
All of them.
Yeah, just put my head on each one of them.
That's a lot of drugs. That's a lot of drugs.
Yeah, that's a lot of drugs.
I'll say that if you decide to be the barge, I'll be Bunny. I can do that.
I love it. I'm with that.
I do Bunny.
Day. Hey y'all, we appreciate it. Much love for adding it.
All right. Hey, bye.
All right.
Yep.